Welcome to Year 5. I'm Mrs Edge and I am in charge of Cassowary class.
And I'm Miss Dapley and I'm in charge of Kookaburra class. Mr Crozier will be in Kookaburra class on a Friday.
And our LSA that we have to help us is Mrs Moore. Just some housekeeping. So at the minute we're on week 1, that started on the 7th of September. And on week 1 we have PE on a Wednesday, and that's with CM Sports. And then on Monday, week 2, you will have PE with your class teacher, and you need to make sure that you have your PE kit on all days. So you can come to school in your PE kit and then you'll go home in your PE kit. You need to make sure, if possible, that earrings are taken out, and if you can't take your earrings out, then please make sure that you've got some tape to put over them. Please also ensure that your PE kit is weather appropriate. As we get into the colder months, you may need to have a sweatshirt jumper, or you may need to have some tracksuit bottoms as well. All items need to be named so that we minimise incidents of lost kit. It's much easier to find you if your name is on it.
So what do we need to bring into school? We would like to see the children bringing in regularly their home learning diary with an update of what they've been doing at home. Reading books and library books. We have a library session on a Thursday, so they'll be able to change books. Then Mrs Porter will be coming into the class with a selection of books. Please just make sure appropriate clothing for weather, and again, as Mrs Edge said, please make sure it's named. They will have a coat peg and they will put that equipment on there. Water bottle, really important. Again, names please. Home reading journals, they're the yellow books that have gone out this week. We'd like to see those every 2 weeks, and that was explained in the letter that accompanied them. And then, like last year, you'll have a home learning book which will be read, and that will go out on a Thursday with the weekly home learning tasks, and that needs to come in by the following Thursday. And last but not least, the reading passport, that's going to be continuing this year, and so we'd like to see that every each term is completed, but you can bring it in at regular intervals when you've read a book, that we can sign it to make sure that you're completing your tasks.
So the things that we're going to be learning in Year 5, we're currently going to start on World War II, which is a really exciting topic. We've got also a homeless project where we actually help a local homeless charity, and then our science topics are life cycles and then forces. Then in the spring term we've got a stunning topic of space, which is very science based. We do some crime and punishment through the ages and some properties of materials, again in science. And the final summer term is cram packed because it's got India and we have our wonderful carnival, and then we've got coasts and ancient Egypt.
Something we are starting this year at St Peter's, and you've already received a letter from Mr Crozier, a really fantastic opportunity for children to explore new literature, new authors. So we've got 6 really exciting reads for the children to read over the year. So as the letter explained, you can choose any book to start with, and the children can enjoy that book at their leisure. So obviously looking at the 6 books, so roughly about 1 per half term. If the children do find parts or the whole text quite challenging, that's good. We want them to be exposed to that rich language and story narrative. But if they are finding it difficult to read independently, then please, as a parent or an elder brother, sibling, sister, could you please read that with them and just share that experience of listening to really high quality literature. These are available in our library, and they will be available in your local libraries too. So any chance that they've got to really enjoy those books, we're going to give those 6 different types of books, aren't they, over the year for them to enjoy. We're currently reading a Louis Satcher book as our class read, so we're kind of doing different similar authors. We're going to be sharing those in school so that they can get kind of a rich author study, that they can compare certain books that different authors are writing. So
another way, if you're struggling with the actual reading, You can actually get these on audiobook as well, and then read along, have the audiobook as you read along the text as well. So how can you support your child's learning in Year 5? You're going to get your sheet along with your homeschool agreement, and we expect you to read daily with your children, and if possible, can you ask questions about what they've read, because that actually helps them to understand the text and comprehend what they've read. We're expecting spellings to be given out fairly regularly, and not only will you practice the spellings that they are given, but we also expect you to look for misspelt words and any spelling patterns. If you've had those 6 spellings that are given, have a look for other spellings that have got that same letter pattern. Really good one is to have the Year 5, 6 spelling list and start practicing those, because they will be ready for the end of Year 6 as well. And in maths, really useful to have a look at the progression of methods and the use of the strategies that we've taught. Any quickfire maths activities, there's lots on Sumdog, My Maths, TT Rockstars. If your child has lost or forgotten their passwords, if they see the teachers, then they can actually give those to them. And obviously practicing timetables every single day if possible. 10 minutes every day makes a massive difference.
Nothing much has changed from Year 4 for our behaviour ladder. It's the same principles that we work on. We have our traffic light system. The expectations are very high, and the exceptional behaviour or work will be rewarded with the children moving up to silver or gold. As Mr. Cunningham is currently coming round with stickers to really praise up those children. Continued for obviously children will get a chance to think about their behaviour, and if they get onto amber, they get a chance to get back up to green as before. Obviously, some choices that are met that are not appropriate on red, then we will be may have a child going to a different classroom to get some concentration space. And we will speak to you as parents about their behaviour. So you might, you will get a phone call home, and we will discuss next steps for your child.
So just to manage cyberbullying, it's obviously a big thing at the minute, and it's a bit of a shame. But if you make sure that your child only does age-appropriate gaming, be aware of who they're talking to, and please set some time limits online, because if they're doing lots of homework, then they should have a minimal amount of time online, but also it just means that they're not really tired the next day. Please monitor the use of any social media. Again, it should be age appropriate. Year 5s shouldn't be on Facebook. We know that some of them may be on Instagram, TikTok. We've seen TikTok. Just be really aware of what's going on. If you have any bullying that comes by text or messenger, sometimes children don't realise just how nasty something they say is, but remind them, don't put anything on text that you wouldn't actually say to somebody face to face, and if it's going to be that mean, then you shouldn't be writing it or texting it at all. Please don't retaliate and write something back. Record any incidences and then ask for help.
So just some reminders really as we start our new year. Thank you to all those parents and carers that have sent in new slips for your children to walk home by themselves or to walk off site. We do need a new slip in this year. It's not a continuation of permission from Year 4, so children can get letters from us and then they can walk off site by themselves. And then really just following on from what Mrs Edge has said about how you can support at home, really just thinking about our expectations from St Peter's about school home learning. Did really well during the lockdown, so things like when we do our creative topic homework, really encourage the children to make their own choices with that creativity. The daily 10 minutes on Sumdog and My Maths, really good fun. The children really enjoy it, and it builds up those mental recall skills. Spellings, again, we've given you some ideas, and we will be sending out periodical spelling homework. Word level work, really based on the vocabulary, so linking to the fantastic must reads, just really giving the children to explore new vocabulary. We'll be continuing with the Reading Passport Challenge. So again, using their library time, using their free time to read different types of books, to give them a sort of, a really wide breadth of reading. And the home reading journal, which I think is going to be fantastic this year. We've already had children bringing it in, really inspiring, and being able for them to have their creativity and responding to their own personal reading, which will be fantastic. So,
with the spellings as well, at the back of their homework book there will be there's a sheet that's stapled on, and it's double-sided, and it has a whole wide variety of ways of teaching spelling, which if you're unsure, get your child to show you, and it's one way will suit one person and another way will suit somebody else. So thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you all through the year, hopefully at some point at the back door where we say goodbye to the children rather than just at a gate.
Virtually for now. But any problems or queries or anything you're not sure of you want to ask, then contact us through the office, and then we can get back to you. We can pass any relevant documentation on through the children. So, welcome from the Year 5 team.